to be introduced in '96. People like Jean-Denis Delatrace, who's in his first Grand Prix for Pacific, he's over 12 seconds slower than David Coulthard's provisional pole. And if you're talking about Formula One and Grand Prix racing, it is unacceptable to have a 12-second differential between the front and the back. That's why 107% is going to be introduced. It's sad for those teams at the back. They do try hard, but such is the competition at the front, such is the nature of Formula One, where success provides funding to provide success, that those at the back have almost got an impossible task. Next year, I don't know whether we will see the teams that have supported Formula One over many years. They're not as competitive, but they may not have the opportunity even to race.
Well, watching Pedro Lamy once again. One thing, John, we should mention that Formula fans may well be interested in was a letter that was published, well, hasn't been published at all, but made some accusations. A letter that was sent to some newspapers, also to some teams as well. And we have some news because the FIA have responded to that today.
Yes, their investigations have got, they say, conclusive evidence that this anonymous letter concerning the Benetton team sent to a number of teams and the FIA was a hoax. That is the judgment of the FIA, and it was a brief note this morning in the press room, so they've laid that ghost to bed. But we just wonder, the writer of that hoax letter, I hope he's not a Eurosport viewer. If he is, would he like to make himself known to us or to anybody in Formula One?
Well, indeed, the letter certainly calling into disrepute the team, and the FIA having acted very quickly to show that their feeling is that there's nothing genuine in it whatsoever. So Pedro Lamy, as you can see, he's still 19th fastest, and the Minardi seems to be struggling here a little bit. Obviously not enjoying the sort of power of the top teams. They're running the Ford ED customer engine and perhaps suffering a little bit here at Estoril.
But Minardi, more or less since the middle of the year, have gone to great lengths to point out that their chassis is the equal of any out there, and on the parts of the circuit where chassis performance is the criteria, they've said our car's as good as a Ferrari, as good as anybody else. The problem is that the Ford ED engine, the customer engine that Ford make available to the smaller teams, just hasn't got what it takes to compete with the factory units from Ford themselves, from Renault, from Peugeot, from Ferrari, from Liège, from the Mugen Honda, whatever. So I'm sure we'll have in the press releases that teams put out after qualifying further confirmation that this Minardi chassis is a real dream of a car. It's just they don't have the horsepower.
Well, they may consider that, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty tight and twisty circuit, this one, that should demand a good chassis.
Yes, it does. Damon Hill back out onto the circuit, and this will be his last run, and a vital run. He's had 2 goes now. He ought to know how the tyre will perform on this first flying lap, and that's the lap he really has to focus and concentrate on, because that's going to give him the best chance to get back onto the front row, maybe even once again secure provisional pole.